What is the role of research in the simulation design process, including the stage where it will occur? The role of research in the simulation design process starts at a very early stage when we try to determine the original system, just after the need of analysis is done. The original system includes all that can be known about the actual system being modeled, whether or not they can be defined or described. Basically, at this stage, the research will spend a significant amount of time in research to figure out the potential solution to a problem. The research will narrow to possible solutions by setting some limits in which it is willing to explore. Therefore, the importance of testing process which provide feedback. What is the role of research in video games and serious games design process? The role of research in video games and serious games is to define the details and norms behind the model of the game. In this process, the research will look for games that are similar, details about the theme, and vocabulary related to the genre. How are these research processes similar and how they differ? Both processes are similar in the sense that both look back to historical data related to the original system. However, in a simulation research, it will be narrowed down to the technical details and more academic. In the other side, the research of video games and serious games, it will be narrowed down to games that are similar, the styles and vocabulary behind the theme and the genre we want to design. What are the goals of testing in the simulation design process? The goal of testing in the simulation design process is to validate and verify that the model of the simulation is done correctly. This can be covered validating of accuracy, randomness, and string conditions, and any of the other tests that can provide feedback useful to detect any problem in the simulation. What are the goals of testing in the video games and serious games design process? The goal of testing in video games and serious game design process, it can change depending on the game. In the big picture, any game passes through tests of extreme conditions, randomness, and others that can provide useful feedback. That's why we can say that a game can be verified just as any other piece of software. However, there is a unique testing related to games that is at the play testing, where a key question answered by play testing concerns to fun. Basically, is to understand if the game accomplished the fun factor and if something that the user can enjoy. How are these testing goals similar and how do they differ? Both processes look for the possible problems, errors, or to validate the assumptions made in previous stages of the design. However, the simulation testings focus in all the details of the model, but the game simulations, the player or user have a significant weight in the equation and the accuracy of the model can be less precise.